Hey everybody, Coach Will here. I want to show you guys a quick little workout for us to be completing. Now, to start things off, we're going to be going with part one. Part one is going to be serving both as a buy-in and a cash out. So at the end of the workout, you're actually going to be repeating this portion as well too. Start things off, this is going to be a little bit of a core primer though. So we're going to do 3 rounds and it's going to be 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, or 15 seconds of recovery. That'll give you time to transition down. We've got 3 exercises in this position. Now, we are going to be needing a little bit of weight if you want it. That being said, canned goods can work for that. If you have dumbbells or kettlebells, that will also work. We're going to go into a V-sit reach up position, and I'm going to be using 15-pound Baker ice. That being said, from this position, heels flat on the ground. If you have hip flexor tightness, you can angle the feet slightly out or angle the knees slightly out. I should see ears in line with shoulders, shoulders in line with hips. Now from here, 30 seconds, set the timer, and we're going to press directly up, control back down, press slightly off to one side, control back down, back up, opposite side. Control for 30 seconds. Once you've done that, you get to recover. Now, key focus for this one, maintaining that nice neutral spine as you press over, making sure that rotation comes slightly through the hips and also through the upper back. Now, if you have low back based issues, make sure that it's just rotating through the upper back, controlling throughout. After that, the secondary movement is going to be going into a plank position. Plank position, just flat against the ground. Big squeeze between the cheeks, pulling the belt buckle up to the chin, drive the elbows into the ground and hold. If you want to make this harder, you can use that same weight, place it in through that low back, nice controlled position, and again holding that position hard. Third exercise of the cash in, or the buy-in, is going to be going into a glute bridge march. Lying face up, drive the hips up nice and high, big squeeze in the bum, knees tracking in line with the toes. From here I'm going to be lifting right leg up or left leg up, one leg comes up, drops back down, opposite leg comes back up, keeping the hips in line the entire time, big brace in through the belly the entire time. Take it nice and slow for 30 seconds, using the upper body to stabilize. After that, dropping back down to start position and resting. Now remember, this is going to be 3 rounds on, so you're going to be completing this 3 times through. Then we're going to be going on to part 2. So part two is going to be 4 rounds, and this is going to be a little bit more strength focused. So it's going to be 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off of each exercise. We have 3 exercises for you on this one. Now, the first exercise we're going to go into is a single leg squat to bench or squat to chair. Now from here, I'm going to stabilize on one leg, knee tracking in line with the toe, shifting my weight over so my nose is in line with my knee, in line with that toe. From here, I'm just focusing on lengthening under tension, or that slow lower till your bum touches down. Double leg back to stand up, repeat. Double leg back to stand up. If you have too low of a chair, you can always put it up on some blocks as well too to get a little bit higher. Now, if you're comfortable with that movement as well too, you can be doing some pistols as well, just still focusing on that control position, dropping on down, standing back up, avoiding the sounds of cracking, or at least muting the microphone when that happens, not to scare everybody away. That being said, that's always an option as well too. Now, we're going to be doing 20 seconds right side, 20 seconds left side, and then you would move on to the secondary movement. Now, 20 seconds isn't a very long time, so we're going to focus on something that is a little bit of a challenging, or at least a challenging intensity. Now, if you are still going to that seat, you can also make it a little bit harder by 2 different ways. One, slowing that way down, so making sure everything's stacked, slow on the way down, bum touches, double leg stand back up, or slow touch, single leg stand back up. Now, the slower you go with the heavier load, the harder it's going to be. Bum sitting back in the chair, control back to start position, 20 seconds one side, 20 seconds other side. Secondary movement, this is going to be secondary in nature, not the full focus. That one is going to be that single leg squat, but this one is going to be a lateral shift. From here, stepping out, control down, knee tracking in line with the toe. Nose can switch slightly over as well too. Big drive back to standing position, 20 seconds one side, followed by 20 seconds other side. Now, you can choose to go that full step and drop, or if you have hip-based issues, knee-based issues, step wide and just be going to those control lateral shifts. If you want to go harder than that lateral step, you can go full Cossack, getting a little bit lower, big drive up, and repeat. Now again, 20 seconds one side, followed by 20 seconds other side. Third and final movement in this part is going to be a side lying external rotation. This one is more focused on scapular stability and just working on the rotator cuff. So I'm going to go into a side lying position. I will show a modification as well too for standing. That being said, side lying, pick rib cage off. I'm going to have my elbow glued to the side. Now from here, I'm going to take a light weight. In this case, you can also use canned goods. Dropping elbow down towards my midline, or hand down towards my midline, keeping elbow more or less where it is. You can even take a blanket or a towel or the opposite hand and have it underneath. I like to think when I've got that weight or that knuckle down in line with the midline, squish the elbow to the side, slightly lift up, using the musculature of the shoulder itself for that slight external rotation. Drop back down, repeat, and continue on for 20 seconds. After that, you would switch sides. Same thing. Control setup, squish, rotate up, control. Less about using the full musculature of the shoulder to whip that hand back and more of finessing into that position and control back down to start position. Now, you can also do this if you have access to a band from a standing position. Right now I've got my band anchored on the fridge. I'm going to stand fully upright, and it's going to be a very similar motion. So I start with my arm more or less in that kind of that midpoint. If you have a towel, you can squish the elbow to the side or just have that elbow in a relatively even position. Now ideally, I do like to get about 30 degrees abduction, or moving that elbow away from the side by about 30 degrees. That being said, I would prefer to see that squish to activate the shoulder, nice and stable through the rib cage. Slight turn off, control back across, and then repeat, trying to keep that wrist straight the entire time. Again, 20 seconds one side, followed by 20 seconds the other side. After this, like I say, rest for a little bit. You're going to repeat through this, going for 4 rounds, especially focused on that single leg squat to lower. That's going to be round number 2. Round number 3 is going to be 3 rounds. This is going to get your heart rate up a little bit more. So it's going to be 3 rounds, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off of 2 exercises. Those exercises are going to be squats and the bent over row. Now, with this movement, it can be done with any kind of weight you want, if you want to add in weight, or if you want to focus more on higher repetitions, you can just go body weight with the squats itself. I would recommend having a light weight, whether it is a duffel bag or a suitcase that you have packed with some weight, to go for the bent over row. That being said, first movement is going to be squats. Now again, you can do any style for this. Feet outside, hip width, knees tracking in line with the toe. If you feel more comfortable angling the feet out, you can. Control squat down, big drive up, repeating for 40 seconds. After 40 seconds, you have 20 seconds to recover, and then you're going to go into the bent over row. Bent over row, again, push the hips back towards the wall, nice and stable. So again, going through that hinge position, getting that tension into the hamstrings and glutes, nice and stable through the arms, straight arm position if you can, pulling elbows back, keeping the chest open without having the shoulders move up as you go. Control back to arms extended, and repeat. This is going to be 40 seconds, really focusing on that stable upper body position, driving those elbows back, slight squeeze between the shoulder blades, letting the elbows and shoulder blades move dynamically throughout the entirety of this 40-second mark. And then you're going to rest for 20 seconds, and we're going to complete these 2 exercises for 3 rounds. Again, trying to elevate that heart rate doing this, not necessarily focusing on overall strength, but focusing on control through every position. That would be then finishing off with part 3. After this, you get to do part 1 all over again as your cash out, and that is going to be today's workout. Now, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. That being said, stay safe, have fun. We're all in this together. Thanks.